I'm very pleased to welcome back someone that I've had the pleasure of speaking to and indeed following on a journey which has been quite momentous. And back in 2018, we had several updates from Jane Allen, who's back on the road again. Jane, welcome back to Forces Radio, BFBS.
Hi, Hal. It's great to be back. And to let you know, I've travelled quite a way through the UK since we last spoke. I left Scotland, got to Gretna Green, which was a huge a moment for us on Remembrance Saturday. I've been down the west coast of England and I'm now in Wales at a little place called Rhyl.
Well, I know Rhyl, and now, of course, there'll be people who maybe haven't heard before our chat about your victory walk thinking, well, this sounds absolutely exceptional what you're doing. And, of course, you've got your naval service background and the reason that you're doing this victory walk. Can you tell us exactly the thought process behind starting in the first place, Jane?
Why I started on such a mad venture. Okay, 7 years in the Naval Service, and 2017 was the centenary of women in the Naval Service. So that was a big year for the Royal Navy, and I was the lead for that. At the back end of that year, in October 2017, which, of course, we're now 2019, might seem a long time ago, but that's when I started from Portsmouth, walking anti-clockwise around mainland Britain for two naval charities. As I said, it may seem as if I've taken forever, about 14 months, but in that time I was still working for the Navy for the first part, and then life gets in the way for everybody, such as funerals and weddings. However, two Navy charities, the Royal Navy Royal Marines charity, because of my connections with the service, and Frank, my husband, on support, former Royal Marine, and then the Wren's Benevolent Trust, that's for the older ladies who served in the separate Women's Royal Naval Service, which is no longer, and women are all part of today's naval service, which is great.
Have you any idea how many miles you've walked?
4,000 miles.
Wow.
I was 3,000, I think, when we last spoke, or something like that, over in Campbelltown, or just after that. And I've probably got about 80 miles to go, and I'm going to hit 4,000 miles this week. And I think my feet are beginning to object, because they certainly caused a few problems just before Christmas.
It's a really incredible undertaking, a solo anti-clockwise charity walk around the coastline of Britain. You did think that this would take over a year. It's going to absolutely be that. And how many miles do you think you'll cover in total?
Well, we estimated 5,500, and we've done some more planning over the Christmas break, because we did take 2 weeks off at Christmas. We think that I'll be out of Wales by mid-March, and then, of course, once I cross the River Severn back into England, I turn right and then head all the way down to Land's End, and then along the south coast back to Portsmouth. So we're reckoning between 5,500 and 6,000, and that should see me back at HMS Victory in Portsmouth, probably now just going into the second quarter of the year.
Have you had support from people that still refer to you as Commander Jane Allen, your friends and family from the Naval Service?
We've had masses of support, and I was going to say that since we last spoke, it's been pretty grim walking all the way down through Cumbria and Lancashire, into Liverpool, round the Wirral and into Wales before Christmas. I've just lost track of the number of storms I've walked in and one thing and another, and the weather was just dire, which is why eventually my body succumbed to being battered by rain the whole time. But we've had my first memory of coming into Cumbria, we had a knock on the door and somebody said, "Please come and sleep on our driveway. We'll give you an electric hookup for the night." They both happened to be ex-Navy, and he, not she, he made the most stupendous chocolate cake, which was delivered, and that lasted us a good few days. Then we moved on further down the coast in Cumbria, and somebody else not connected with the service, made us beautiful scones and jam. So, I can see I'm going to put on weight rather than lose weight on this.
I highly doubt it with 5,500 miles underfoot.
Well, I don't know, and then into Liverpool, which is it's just got such a strong naval history. We were well looked after there, and unfortunately, that's where I had to report in 1 day sick. Hal, I just couldn't walk. I was just so full of cold and sinus, because I think it is difficult to dry out in the van every night, and when you're getting soaked every day, in the end, it does get to you, so to speak.
Yeah, but you shouldn't feel down about that at all. It's amazing it's only been that one sick day that you've had to report in, as you put it.
Yeah, you're right. There's one sick day for cold, and then unfortunately, I've sort of had problems with my feet, and I went to get my feet checked out before Christmas, and I was told, here's a Christmas present you don't want, but your feet do want. You're going to have to stop walking 3 days early. They just said that they were not in a good state, and we think it's to do with the boots. And here's the rub. What did Father Christmas give me for Christmas? He bought me 2 pairs of boots of different sizes.
Oh.
You normally get 2 for the price of 1. I've actually got 1 for the price of 2. So I've got 1 pair of boots now because I'm wearing different size boots on each foot.
Oh, do you have different size feet, or is it one that swells up?
A lot of people traditionally have a difference in size.
Yeah, I do.
But it's become quite marked now, well over half a size.
Wow.
And I was trying to walk in the same size boot, the larger size, but for the smaller foot, they think that's what was causing the problems. It was just too much movement, which was giving rise to tendon blisters and things. And I've never had a problem. All the time I've walked, I've got all this way round. But it's interesting because I think my poor old feet are probably thinking, hang on a minute, give us a break, because I can't complain. They've got me this far, and they've only just started playing up now, but I've really got to look after them for the last 1,800 miles.
You really do, and you must keep us updated as well. And if people, Jane, would like to support you, how can they do it?
The best way to do it, and then they can also follow the progress and watch the blue line around the coast getting longer, is website is victorywalk, all one word, .uk. So if you go there, they can see it, they can see how to donate. And I would like to also say that I had some nice, generous donations leading up to Christmas, which was really gratefully received. I just wanted to read you one little quote from one of the charities. The Wren's Benevolent Trust, as I said, is one of the charities I'm working for. And they get all sorts of applications, but just one of the ladies wrote in, I am so grateful to you for the generous grant. Thank you for relieving me of much anxiety regarding the cost of care and therapy necessary to enable me to remain living in my own home. And they get so many letters like that, and it's things like that which make me want to keep walking, because those ladies deserve it, and also the younger service women as well.
Absolutely, and well said. Jane Allen, from your Victory Walk, thank you very much for keeping us updated here on Forces Radio BFBS. We wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thanks, Hal, and hopefully the next time I speak to you, I'll have crossed back into England again.
Yay.